Um, I feel like the mental side of judo is massive. If I talk about kind of the Europeans in 2016, as soon as the draw came out, my head had gone completely. I saw that I had a man's second round and I thought, she's so strong, she's so good, she's won so many medals. And that was all that was playing in my mind. So when I had my first fight at the Europeans, I felt like I fought terrible because all I was thinking about was my second fight. I was thinking about that man fight and I'd lost my head before I even stepped onto the mat. So when the Olympics come around and the draw came out, I had a man's second fight again. And if it wasn't from learning so much about myself from the Europeans, then I believe the same situation could have happened again at the Olympics. But I didn't allow myself to feel like that. I just felt excited. I felt that I was able to take one fight at a time. So my first fight, I just concentrated on that one. I executed it. I ended up scoring a knee waza, which did then set me up for my next fight against a man. And I remember standing in the tunnel thinking, I have nothing to lose. Like, I'm just excited. I'm just enjoying the moment. And I thought, I've worked so hard for this. I'm just going to fight my best, win or lose. I can be happy. So I was losing in the fight against a man. And I just knew I had to push on. I had to kind of try and get that score back, which ended up in me getting held down. But at the time, I didn't realise I was getting held down. And I just thought, keep turning in. I had the grip on the belt, and I just knew if I kept turning and just went at that split second, I would be able to turn her over, which I was able to do and able to win the fight. So for me, that was massive because I'd overcome kind of all those negative thoughts from the past and being able to turn it into a positive on that day. And then my third fight was against Boulder from Israel. And again, she's probably beaten me more times than I've ever beaten her before. And when we do fight, we have some wars. So I knew that this fight wasn't going to be easy. But I just thought the same thing. I was clear on what I needed to deliver. And again, I was able to kind of throw Linda Boulder and hold her down to win the fight. So then that took me into the semi-final of the Olympic Games. And I was like so happy. But I knew that I still had at least 2 more fights to go. So I remember the Alvea fight, we've had some really close fights in the past, and again, I've never beaten her. It was a close fight, we went to golden score, she countered my attack, and that was her into the final and me fighting for bronze. And I just remember, I didn't even think about anything. I didn't think about how close I was to getting into an Olympic final. I just knew I had to just win this next fight. I knew I had one more fight, and that was the only fight that mattered. I think I had 10 minutes to turn that fight around into thinking, right, I've got a bronze medal to win here. So I remember standing in the tunnel and kind of just being so focused, and nobody could say anything to me. I was just so focused in winning that fight. And again, Graf from Austria, such a strong girl, and I knew that I had to deliver my best fight to be able to beat her. And I was able to do that and come away with the bronze medal, and I was so happy.